Parents of Reddit, what is your kid doing or wearing that you hope is just a phase? My 7-year-old saw a ceiling fan installation video on YouTube. He is now obsessed with ceiling fans. He is going to ask Santa Claus for 4 new ceiling fans for Christmas. There must be something about ceiling fans. I work with kids with autism and it's incredible how many of them love ceiling fans. With some of the older ones, the fans seem to arouse them. My teenage son is going through the I don't have to shower every day, even after rugby practice phase. I have tried to tell him he stinks, but for some reason he thinks I'm crazy. Hope this ends soon. Start hoarding all his filthy laundry, especially his rugby clothes, and when you have a sizable amount and he's at school, dump it all onto his bed and shut the room to let the stink permeate every surface. Then when he asks why you did such a thing and his room stinks, tell him that's how he smells when he won't shower. My teenage daughter claims that our family is a communist dictatorship and she has no rights. I sighed. Told her it's more like a fascist dictatorship or maybe even a monarchy. He won't shave his beard. He's 17 and it's very thin and long. Reminds me of the first time I saw my own armpit hair when I was in middle school. I'm getting married next week. I asked him to shave and he said, "But mom, it'll take me like 2 years to grow it back." So we compromised that he would at least trim it shorter. Just tell him that the more he cuts it, the quicker and thicker it will grow back after. I'm pretty sure most people believe that anyway. Lying, but in a really incompetent way. She's nearly 3 and has started trying to get out of doing stuff by making the most outrageous and clearly untrue statements, like "you can't brush my hair," "I haven't got a head and I can't put my shoes on," "I'm a box and boxes don't have feet," etc. I try not to just laugh in her face, but it's difficult. Laugh at her and tell her she's not a box. She is clearly a bag. My 12-year-old is obsessed with Five Nights at Freddy's. It wouldn't be so bad if every electronic device he got his hands on didn't get a profile or something named after some weird animatronic character. He made 4 new separate user accounts on the netbook that we let him use to play Minecraft. Named them all after FNAR characters. My son is 13. He recently started insisting on tucking his pants, usually sweatpants, into his socks, and pulling up his socks, and then wearing sandals. I told him he looks like a pirate with 2 wooden legs. He is a tall thin stick of a boy. So far no one else has mentioned it to him, so he thinks I'm just being silly. Get pictures while you can so he can look back and laugh with you later. So my 4-year-old is obsessed with Minecraft. I enjoy it quite a lot also, but I'm really only playing it because he wants to watch. But he keeps wanting me to do creepy things. Like the latest thing he wants me to do is to build tracks and collect all of the villagers into a place and build a machine to kill them. I know they aren't real people or anything, but no, I'm not going to build concentration camps. I was playing Minecraft with my 4-year-old. As I was busy chopping down trees and building the house, he was knocking pigs into a ravine and watching them die. My 3-year-old likes to pull his dong out of his pull-up and yell, "Look at my dingle, I hope this stops before I send him to daycare." The flashing might stop, but the fascination doesn't. I am currently working in a daycare, and I've got 19 preschoolers. Not a day goes by that I don't say, "Please don't play with your penis in the classroom." Growling loudly at everything. He's 2.5. Just flew to Orlando from UK. Funny for first hour, not so much for the next 8 or so. It could be worse. My 2.5-year-old has been imitating fire truck police sirens. Kill me. My son is wearing pull-ups, and if the smell is any indication, he is currently crapping his pants while grunting and telling me right to my face he doesn't have to go poop. This crap is really getting old. To be fair, he probably doesn't need to once he's done talking to you. My 5-year-old is hitting that kindergarten phase where he's stretching his wings, experimenting with independence, and seeing exactly how far he can push his parents before something really bad happens. He'll sneer or glare at you when you tell him not to do something bad, but once you get in his face and tell him in no uncertain terms exactly what'll happen to him if he keeps it up, he starts crying. Can't have it both ways, bud. If you're old enough to run out into the street by yourself and laugh the first time I yell at you about it, you're too old to get out of a punishment by crying like a baby. His sister went through this phase, 2, and she got over it. Now she's the sweetest, most empathetic, most respectful little thing you could ever dream of raising. I'm sure he'll get there too. You're probably experienced by now, but I know of parents that dote on their children every time a tear is shed. Just let the kid cry sometimes or else you'll end with a little butthole. My 5-year-old son is obsessed with Bowser from Mario Brothers. He talks about him all the time. It is getting old and I wonder what the other kids in his kindergarten class think. Or maybe they obsess about similar things too. You can't deny that Bowser is awesome. I love all the parents complaining about Minecraft and admitting they play it. Makes me think of that old drug czar where the kid is like, I learned IT from you. Minecraft is seriously a never-ending black hole once you start delving into the modded community. Not a parent, but my nephew pretty much lives with us so close enough. He's 5 and is right in the midst of his picky eating stage. It's so annoying because we'll be eating one thing and he'll insist on eating something else, and he's hardcore, so he'd literally starve himself than eat what we're eating, so we usually give in. But sometimes we're eating a food he likes, but because he doesn't want that food that day he'll try to claim he doesn't like it. I don't like pizza, though we ate pizza yesterday, yeah, but I was just pretending because I don't like pizza, I like pasta. He's a great kid. Polite and kind, but sometimes I kind of want to drop kick him a few miles because he is getting on my nerves. I have a 14-year-old who is obsessed with socks. He spent like $19 on a single pair of socks. They have to be these Nike Elite, gold-plated, something. I hope he grows out of this fast. I've started wearing fancy merino wool socks, usually Smart Wool, but some other brands too. And they are so much better than regular socks, it's amazing. Your son is onto something. Upgrade your socks. Upgrade your life. Pull-ups at night. He is going to be 7, and although most mornings that pull-up is relatively dry, I am really looking forward to never buying another dang diaper pull-up again. I read this as the exercise and was like, man, I wish I got into exercising that young, and then I finished the comment and got really confused before figuring it out. Edit. Fixed her parentheses. My 5-year is 100% bathroom independent. He just forgets to wipe half the time. He also has a habit of waiting until the last possible minute he can hold his pee. This means he either A, unleashes the beast and lets fly, or B, has trouble with his belt and wets himself. Sure, it's sort of fun predicting when the cross-house potty sprint is going to occur, but it cannot be healthy. So, not 100% toilet independent, since the bathroom routine includes wiping. My 3-year-old has just discovered his penis can not only pee in the potty, but if properly angled can form a fine arc of urine that will land on anything he aims it at, which at the moment tends to be the cat. Yes, my toddler is currently into peeing on the cat, which then runs all over the place getting his pee everywhere. Thank you, toddler. Your girlfriends of the future will be hearing all about this. I wish I'd been into cool crap like that. My 9-year-old son really likes sleeveless shirts. My grandma bought him a bunch. He chooses his daily outfit, which is a sleeveless shirt with shorts every day. All of the shorts he owns are plaid. It's like he's all preppy on the bottom and hillbilly on top. I don't care too much, because who really gives a crap what their kid wears as long as 1, it's appropriate for the event, and 2, is clean. It is embarrassing to go out in public with him, but frick it, he's happy. Showing off the guns. Chicks dig biceps. Bruh. Crying. Just crying, screaming for hours and hours and hours, to the point where I consider taking him to be seen by a doctor. Then just as I am about to arrange it, he stops. Then does it again. He's only 5 days old, but I am already feeling the pressure and stress. My 10 and 13-year-old are all hot topic, all the time. As a legit punk kid back in the 80s, this seems wrong to me. My tights were shredded because I was too poor to get new ones. It was just a bonus that they looked cool. Hot Topic has some cool things, but I feel like it should be utilized to enhance a look, not to just be a head-to-toe walking marketing ad for their stuff. My 12-year-old has been obsessed with yo-yos for a while now. I was afraid he was going to get picked on at school because of it. Turns out he's gotten a bunch of other kids interested in them enough that they're starting a yo-yo club to teach each other yo-yo tricks. One of their APs is going to help with that part, and the engineering teacher is going to help them design and make yo-yos on the new 3D printers. That's the opposite of a problem. Frozen. She has this one dress that she wears. It gets washed. She wears it again. Lather, rinse, repeat. We watch the dang movie most days. She's onto her second copy. She has a cape that goes over her regular clothes. On the days her dress is being washed, I can repeat the entire script. I'm over Frozen. I honestly don't understand the hysteria with Frozen. Out of every Disney film ever, young kids are obsessed with Frozen. Currently, my son, 15, keeps spending hours in the woods near my house. I don't want to hinder his individuality, but I used the parent control on his phone to track where he goes. I found this tree house. I don't know if he built it or found it, and when I climbed up I saw magazine papers covering the wall, yarn pinned to them with Polaroids stacked up everywhere. The weirdest part? They were all pictures of birds, with bird feathers in the yarn, and, on the floor in the corner, there was what turned out to be a jumpsuit covered with various types of feathers. I don't know why he hasn't felt comfortable with talking about this. He knows I love him, and I think I know what this is about. I will accept him whether or not he's realized he's actually equine on the inside, provided he doesn't want to feed him like a mama bird. Update. I thought to check his room today after remembering him this. He has a drawer full of little bones. The thing I want to be a phase is the culling. The rest is whatever. I could always buy him feathers and help him staple them on. At first I thought he was doing drugs in the woods. Then I thought he was a stalker. Then I was like, oh okay, it's just bird watching. That's an okay hobby. Then I was like, WTF. So my 12-year-old son keeps saying that he is a bean boy. At first I thought it was just a stupid game. But I checked his internet history and it is 85% bean related. I hope it's just a phase. Real human bean. I guess it's more like his attitude, but he's really materialistic and status conscious, as much as a 6-year-old can be. He's always comparing his stuff to other people's stuff. I don't really understand where he gets it from because I'm not like that at all. On the one hand it's cool, if he's willing to work for the nice things he wants. On the other hand it's not cool if he's just so obsessed that it's taking over parts of his brain. You know, he only wants to play sports that have the most gear, because he likes the gear, not necessarily the sport. He has to have the nicest shoes. If his friend has some cool thing, he must also have that cool thing. He's the one who leaves the toy store saying, "That's really cool you got me these things, but why didn't you get Emmy this too?" Yes, I've tried putting everything back and leaving the toy store. This just seems to be the way he is right now. He also thinks he is an expert after spending 2 minutes learning about something. That is really infuriating. No, you're not an expert on sharks because we read half of a kid's book on sharks. He also likes to be the best. No, you're not good enough to be in the NHL. You are 6. Okay, yeah, you're a good skater now. But guess what? If you just sit there congratulating yourself instead of practicing, all those other guys on your little league team will just blow by you next year. I mean, I don't say this to him. I just tell him to keep practicing. IDK. My 6-year-old thinks he's Bruce Lee and my 9-year-old thinks he's Paul Phoenix. Roughhousing is good, but dang it, they tag team me while I was asleep. All I hear is water, and I'm out cold again. Minecraft and KSP. Granted, I play the crap out of some KSP, but I had to buy him his own laptop and get it for him because he was fricking up daddy's missions. My daughter is obsessed with death. She is 9 and will ask hypothetical questions such as, if this ferry sank, how many people would die? Or are there sharks in these waters? How many people have been eaten? She seems to have toned it down a bit in the last few months. Piercings. He's 18, and he's got snake bites, ear gauges, and a pierced septum that he puts this god-awful big ring into. Jesus, I really hope I'm wrong, but I feel like that kid's never going to get a decent job looking like that. From experience, personal and friends, the ear gauges may be the only lingering part of this. I had multiple piercings all over my body, some visible and some not. In my early 20s and by my mid 20s when I started getting serious about jobs, I thought these really need to come out and no one can even tell I had any of them. Not a parent, but my little brother has been playing a lot of computer games, and instead of using the normal hand configuration, ring finger on A, middle on WS, and index on D, like a normal person, he uses his index for all 4 keys. It drives me crazy. What the frick? Out of all the posts here, this worries me the most. Not a parent, but my 14-year-old brother wore shorts to school the last 2 days, with temperatures between 0-10 degrees Celsius. Pretty sure every 8th grader does that. My 9-year-old daughter dresses in as much black as she can get her hands on and is flattered when people compare her to Wednesday Addams. She's also very into some YouTube that I really don't get, like Miranda sings and endless videos of people putting together outfits for different occasions. Which wouldn't be that weird if she didn't try to insist on spending 80% of her life in the same shapeless black schmat. I was your daughter. I'm 35 and still wear mostly black. For some of us it's a phase, for others it's how we know we look great. Crocs. Freaking Crocs. My 8YO had a hand-me-down pair. 4YO was dying for a pair like her big sis. Then 2-year-old wanted some too. Next thing I know, my dang husband will want a pair, and divorce is just so expensive. Hoping the Crocs phase goes away soon. She likes to drop her pants, shake her butt at me, and sing Botswana. Botswana. She's nearly 6. At least she only does it at home. As far as you know. Not a parent, but as a kid I used to have a Hercules phase after binge watching the Disney movie. Used to take one arm out of my shirt like a toga and walk around with a sword, insisting to be called Hercules. I miss my toga. Obnoxious YouTube videos. My Little Pony, Shopkins, Minecraft. I don't know how these people get so popular because their voices are downright painful. I truly wonder if Cookie Swirl keeps friends with her fakey little girl voice. She has to be in her early 20s. I want an interview where she's asked, what do people say when they find out your YouTube is all about you playing with kids' toys? My 13-year-old daughter judges the frick out of everyone who is the least bit different from her and is incredibly annoyed by almost everyone and everything. I'm hoping she will quickly learn to stop giving a crap. Roblox on my gaming PC. He's 11 and always goes back to Roblox. I don't get it. I have a huge Steam library but I can't get him to play anything else. When my daughter gets upset, annoyed, overwhelmed, overtired, she turns her head to the right and spits on the floor, like a continuous 6-inch long saliva snail. My kid is about to be 3. For the last 4 months or more he has been using the toilet absolutely fine. Now he shoots in the garden. He likes the moon to see his bum plums, his words not mine. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.